Hi guys, and welcome to the JKT Radio Podcast, episode 89. And I'm your hostess with the mostest, Muffabun, or Bun, or Muffa, or Kira. Or, you know what? I don't have a name anymore. I'm an Eldritch Beam of Horror. And I feel reminiscent of, outside and people and not being a shut-in. So I want to be classic outdoor games, and I'm going to be red light, green light, and I'm trying to find my other classic outdoor games. Kris.
What time is it, Mr. Wolf?
It's a good one. And McBride.
Red Rover, Red Rover.
Oh, my chest. And Devon.
I'm going to be a basic bitch and go with capture the flag.
Hey, it's still a good one.
Okay.
I was thinking there's several that I could have gone with.
There's actually quite a few. I didn't even need to Google that.
Like
I was like,
Manhunt or like...
Oh, Manhunt.
Grounders.
Hopscotch.
Red Square, or like the Foursquare.
Foursquare, yeah. I have a funny story about Foursquare, funny enough, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so that was my first...
If you think there's thunder, by the way, that's not. They're moving something upstairs. Just so you know.
Fair enough.
There was thunder, but that was a couple days ago.
That was a couple days ago. We almost lost power.
Same.
I was fine.
But yes, Foursquare. So I was a wee child of maybe 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there. However old kids are in elementary school.
That's a variety of ages.
5 to 12.
Yeah, basically. Well, this was grade K to 5, so we didn't make it up to 12.
5 to 10.
They never made it to 12.
no. Some say they're 12 to this day. Anyways, we're playing Foursquare, or some dumb game that we created because we were bored at recess or lunch, where we would all line up on a wall, like against a wall, and there would be one kid with a like a tetherball, dodgeball type of thing, and throw as hard as he could to try and hit one of the people against the wall. And if you got hit, then you were it, and you had to try and hit the rest of the kids on the wall, and that's how it went. But
I know this game.
The walls on this elementary school, they weren't flat. They had like little wood slats every foot or so that stuck out about an inch.
What?
And they were sharp. They didn't round off the corners or anything. There was like just blocks of wood just lined up all around the outside of the school.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh, you know what? That would have been a plan and a half, but we didn't go that far apparently. So I'm up against the wall. Kid throws it, hits me in the head. Head proceeds to hit the back of the wall, the corner of one of the things, right up against the back of the wall. I'm just like, well, that kind of hurt. All right, whatever, it's my turn. And then I notice my head starts to hurt a little more. I was like, oh, what the hell? So I rub my head, take my hand down, and it's like, oh, I'm bleeding everywhere. I should probably go to the nurse. Apparently, I had like the sheer force that this child threw the ball against my head against the wall was enough to create a scar to the point where I needed 7 stitches.
Holy shit.
Christ, if it was a video game, they gave you like a medal for that.
Yeah, that's how I know this game.
Yeah.
I know this game. I also played this game.
I don't, but I never had any friends, so.
It's fun.
You didn't you didn't play with friends in this game.
No.
Oh no.
No, you had the whole class.
You had people that like were out to destroy you and you them.
I mean, we used to play Sharks and Barracudas. That was always fun to play.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was my favorite.
Oh, my chest still hurts from Red Rover.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to play Red Rover at my schools.
I'm trying to remember what Red Rover was.
Clothespinning each other.
Yeah, basically.
In a nutshell, yeah.
It's like Red Rover can blah blah come over, and then they gotta run, I think, to the other side, and the people in the middle gotta kind of clothesline you to prevent you or something like that.
Yeah.
So mine was a little different than that.
I was gonna say the way we had it was
I could be remembering it wrong.
It was 2 walls of kid linked
yes.
hand in hand, and then whoever got called by whoever said the name that kid had to run towards that one kid, but choose like an arm to try and run through. And if they managed to get past, then they join that wall. If not,
Right.
No, if they manage to get past, then they go back to their original wall. If they can't get past, then that's when they join the original one. And a good amount of times it got pretty violent.
I was gonna say, like, this sounds like.
See, I was remembering it wrong because I was never allowed. It was never allowed at my schools.
I can imagine why.
For probably good reason, yeah.
Yeah.
Although we had a version of Sharks and Barracudas that was very similar to that, anyways. Where like, cause you know what that game is, right?
No.
Oh, so basically
I probably know a version.
So there was 2 teams of it. It was very similar where like you'd have one team on one side of the wall, and then another team on the other side of the wall. So one team was Sharks, but the other team was Barracudas, and then you'd have people standing in the middle. And so the people in the middle would call for Sharks, and if you were on the side that was Sharks, you'd have to run over from your side of the wall to get to the other side without getting caught by the people in the middle. If you got caught, then you'd have to. One version of it was that you'd have to sit down, and you'd become an octopus, so you'd have to grab people running by.
Oh, I do know this. That we didn't call it Sharks and Barracudas, but I do know this.
Yeah, we called it octopus.
Yeah, there was a lot of different names. Sharks and Barracudas was just the name that we used in Nintendo when I was growing up.
No, I do remember that one though.
I always loved that game as well. And we had a weird dodgeball volleyball game where like you would have like a volleyball at the very end of each side of the like you'd have like 4 or 5 volleyballs on little pylons at the end, and the other team had to try and knock it off of the pylon.
Yeah.
And so like that would be how you'd win as well. This is a different game, but like they'd have to. So it's dodgeball, but also they have to knock off the volleyballs to win.
Yeah, yeah.
We
That's
got a
where you
lot of
saw.
people
That's where you saw the
building
baseball
forts.
stars shine.
Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people building forts
Oh yeah.
God.
and huddled around it.
You remember Dr. Dodgeball?
Dr.
Is that
Dodgeball.
what-
Why does that sound
they could,
familiar?
Like, heal you to bring
Yeah,
you back
Yes.
into the game.
Yeah.
I loved that game.
That was
fun.
a fun one.
I loved being the doctor in that game.
I always loved California Kickball as well.
California
That
Kickball
was
really
fun.
fun.
I always liked that one.
I got that game banned.
Yeah, of course he did. Don't
Yeah,
know how he did, but-
Our grade in our elementary school got almost every single outdoor game banned.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's a theme.
We were really good at banning games.
What did you guys? I don't need to know.
We broke almost every single light in the gymnasium.
How?
Shit. Those must have
We
been some
did.
pretty
How did you kick the
terribly
ceiling? I bet
built
you it was,
lights.
No.
No, it's so they had 2 different kinds of lights. They had the main lights, which were caged and gated, and then the spotlights, which there were probably like 40 of them. All of those were broken.
Oh Jesus.
We broke all of those.
Oh my god. How?
Soccer, mostly soccer is how we broke them.
That just gives me more questions.
To put this into perspective, Kris, for my elementary school,
9:30.
is you know I can't run, you know I can't aim, we can't do shit.
Yeah, same.
So, also our school and our grade had 20 people. The end.
Oh.
The end. We had 20 people that went through like all of elementary school together.
That's fucking
So
funny.
we had set teams. Every team had like 6 or 7 people, except my team had only 3.
Right.
You probably
had the-
killed them all.
Yeah, we had me, which was our goalie and defender. I controlled half of my side of the soccer field. And then the 2 best players in our grade. We still won almost all the time.
Oh my god.
But sadly, we didn't have the power kickers. The power kickers are the ones that broke the lights. They could kick from the one side of the gymnasium, have it dent the wall on my side, ricochet into the ceiling, and then into the floor. All at full speed.
Shit.
Damn.
There was 3. We had 3 power kickers. That hit me once straight in the gut. I went into the net, into the wall, into the floor.
Oh my god.
But I saved it. I was knocked unconscious from lack of air for a second, but I saved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I ended up in the nurse's office a lot in elementary school.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
You seem like you would.
I don't think we had a nurse's office at mine.
Ours was like the shitty room inside the main office. It was really bad. Like, it had a mini fridge with some ice packs.
Yeah, you gotta love
And some
it's like-
Band-Aids.
I gotta love as well as like, oh hey, you fell on some ice. Let's go to the office to get ice.
Ice.
Yeah. Pretty
Or
much.
you could just lay on the thing you just slipped on. I mean, it's the same freaking thing.
Same thing. Yeah, but also our teacher and the other teacher that taught, because our grade at one point was just, they split us between the grade below us because there was not enough people, but there were too many of them.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So both of our teachers were very younger guys, like under 30
Yeah.
or maybe mid 30s at the time. So they would play the games with us, especially the very violent dodgeball, California kickball,
Yeah.
Mr. Kelly ball.
Sorry, who wrote that?
He was a teacher that had retired, but he had a very violent game, which was a combination of California kickball, dodgeball, and rugby.
Oh no.
It was violent. That was also banned after a while.
I'm not surprised.
Jesus.
Sweet
Yeah.
Jesus.
Gabe, you didn't get banned?
Dodgeball. They couldn't take dodgeball away from us.
Actually, no, that's fair. Yeah, you really can't take dodgeball away from
You can't
them.
take
Kids.
dodgeball away from kids.
Yeah.
That's
especially-
just asking for a riot.
Yeah, that was, and we played Dr. Dodgeball primarily. And we had the soccer nets turned backwards as a safety shield where you
Yep.
could hide.
Yep, we
and
did
that's
the
where you
same
had to,
thing.
the doctor had to return you to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had the we used to use like those gymnastic mats. I think
Yeah.
you'd hide behind.
Yeah.
We did that when we did the big games of like combination of
Wow.
dodgeball and California kickball.
We never
where-
hid behind anything because we're not cowards.
Well, no, 'cause you gotta keep the doctor. You gotta keep the doctor safe. If the doctor
Yeah,
gets
that's
out,
what
then
it
you're
is.
fucked.
Yeah, if you manage to win the game when the doctor's out, you're a god. Which I've seen that happen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I've seen
But
it
it-
happen.
I found it funny going from tiny elementary school going to big high school.
Yeah, because our high school, because like I'm trying to
That's
think
huge.
of the games we did in like high school.
We still played Dr. Dodgeball, and I had 3 people from my elementary school in that gym class. All of them opted for my team, and then they convinced every other student to let me be the doctor.
Yep. Sounds right.
Everyone's like, this is gonna suck. You can't move anyone because you had to physically drag someone as the doctor. You couldn't get up and walk. You had to physically drag them.
Oh
And
ye
they're
of
like,
little faith.
No, no, you don't understand.
It's like God.
I will drag your ass across the gym, and we're going.
I think one of the I was not an athletic kid. Surprise, surprise. Especially because around like 12, 14 is when all of my problems started. But one thing that we used to play, like me and my friend in gym class, was that we had a game that was actually kind of because I really liked to play badminton, and a game that we would set up is sitting badminton, which is actually more work because you gotta try and like lean and go for the birdie without like standing up and running for it.
Yeah.
So it wound up being actually more work sitting, ironically enough. Yeah, I didn't realize that at
Yeah.
the time when I set it up, but badminton,
Unintentionally set yourselves up for fail.
pretty
I
much.
hate I hated badminton. I always had to help set up the nets. Hated
Oh yeah, half the
badminton.
time we never bothered with a net. We just kind of made an arbitrary line as a rule and just yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
love badminton. Badminton was super fun to me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was also not as hard as like soccer and stuff like that. And plus, you could only I think it's because you could only play it in pairs. So like,
This is true, but also like there was a weird satisfaction upon getting a good hit
yeah,
on the thing.
the
The thwip.
Oh, the birdie
little,
thwip?
Yeah, the birdie thwip. The little Spider-Man
and
sound.
getting a good like serve was fun.
It was just like it felt so good.
And you didn't even have to be that athletic to play it, which was nice.
Yeah, you didn't really have to be good at it. All you gotta do is just hit it.
Oh, the reason I brought up kids games though.
Oh yeah, there was this was where this began.
This is the kids game. It actually retains. I have a side message going on, and they're a little salty. So yesterday morning, I walk out into the other room, and as usual, they're watching a show or a movie. It's already partway done.
Right.
On this one, it's near the end of episode 1 of a new show called Squid Game.
Okay.
Concern.
Supposedly, Squid Game is based on like a very, very violent kids game, where that is what it from Korea.
Ah.
In the Netflix original series, it is also a Korean. I want to say Squid Game. The Squid Game itself is like hilariously violent, and it has like an actual field you're supposed to play on, and it's just like one offender and defender, but there's a bunch of different rules to get to the squid head as the offender, and if you get hit by the defender, you're out. You've lost. But anything goes in this game. Knives, punching, kicking.
Oh.
Anything goes in Squid Game.
Knives?
You're a kid, you're a squid. You're a kid.
You're a kid, you're a squid. Yeah, anything goes.
Are you
but
sure
the
this
show-
is a kids game and not a prison game?
It was described as a kids game. That's how it was described in the show. I do not know. But the show, I walked in at the ending of it, and they were playing. I was like, what are you watching? They're like, oh, a bunch of gamblers with a bunch of debt agreed to play this game for money. And if you lose, you're done. You're eliminated. And that's all they knew at the time. So I'm sitting here watching the first game, which is red light, green light, and they explain the rules. You'll be eliminated. I was like, all right, and I sat and watched for a few seconds. And some people got caught. One person got caught right away and was shot.
Oh, what?
You are eliminated. And that obviously caused half of the players to panic and start running, and they were all eliminated.
Yeah,
There was like 600 players or something stupid.
See, this literally sounds like a film called Battle Royale.
Yes, it's very Battle Royale-esque. That's what I wanted to compare it to.
Okay, good. So you know what Battle
But
Royale
not.
is.
But also not.
Yeah.
So when I got sick last night, I actually went out and we watched. They were watching the last episode and a half, I think. So I got to see the ending. I watched the end of the first episode, and I watched like the last 2 episodes, and the final game, because it was like they were playing a game a day for a week or something.
Right.
And the one at the end would get the money, which was like 6 billion won or something.
Neat.
It was like an absurd amount of money. And I could tell, like, there were pieces, and, like, I could tell there's something I missed in, like, the chunk of the episodes. Because there was, like, a side story. But I was there for, like, the 2 main characters that were playing the game, not the side shit of the people running the game.
Yeah.
And they played Squid Game with knives.
You know, totally normal kids game.
All of them were totally normal kids games. Like, the first one was red light, green light, as I said.
Where you get shot.
Where you get shot if you are eliminated. The second to last game was, it looked familiar, but not, but it was, obviously everyone was dying. And only a handful of people on Squid Game, and they duked it out. I would advise watching this. Maybe not Kris.
I'm kind of tempted to watch it.
It was very violent, and I loved it, and I really want to go back and watch it. And I just recommended it to someone. And I was like, I watched, like, the beginning, like, the end of the first episode in the beginning, and I explained what I saw. So they sent me a picture saying I booted up Netflix. The first thing I see is Squid Game. Squid Game.
What the heck is this game?
It's ridiculous. Are you looking up what Squid Game actually is?
No, but I am concerned.
The show, as I said, I think was like 9 episodes. Looks good. Watch I know what happens now because I watched the end while I was dying, but
Yeah. By the way, you want to give some context for You sent it about you dying or no?
Sure, I guess. 'Cause you
Yeah.
guys don't fully know what happened yet either.
Yeah, and also story time with Kira.
Yeah.
Kira's always fun.
I actually thought I was dying last night.
Yeah. What was that about?
So around 6, I was sitting here playing a game. And I just got really, really dizzy. Like the whole world started to spin. So I'm like, I'm gonna go, and I couldn't aim my mouse to hit the disconnect button and close the game, so I literally just shut off the entire computer. I just hit shut off on the computer itself. Didn't close anything. And I I stumbled to my bed because I couldn't focus enough to walk properly. And I felt like I was lying there for an hour because like my brain was functioning, but it felt swollen, and then it got hard to breathe.
Seriously, the
So
next time that happens, go to the hospital, please.
It felt like I was going into like a heavy allergic reaction, but I could pull up my phone and see in the reflection like I wasn't in hives or anything, but it felt like that. And then I felt like I was going to get sick, so I stumbled to the couch so I could get to the bathroom in time.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for like an hour and a half before Mom realized something was wrong. She was watching Squid Game on the couch.
Seriously though, like even if you like you're not in hives, if you can't breathe, and
I
like
could breathe. It was just like as I said, I do have medical knowledge. My brain was functioning at full capacity. It just felt swollen. So I stopped and I calmed my breathing. It was fine. It's just I kept hyperventilating. I couldn't
Right.
stop hyperventilating.
that
Like
is
I had
still
enough brain function to
concerning.
stop and think about it. But because I'm like, maybe I really am sick. Maybe I do need to go to the hospital. And then Dad said he was also feeling the same way.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, maybe we're both allergic to something in the shepherd's pie. Wait a minute, there's nothing in the shepherd's pie that I haven't eaten before besides black beans, because I don't really like black beans. But Dad's had black beans, and he's not allergic to those.
Huh.
And then a friend of mine pointed out it might be the giant infection I have on my hand that's causing it. I'm like, but then Dad wouldn't feel it.
So maybe it was mild food poisoning or something.
Maybe it's, but everyone else ate it. Mom's fine. Vince is fine. They didn't feel this. So I was sitting there, and Mom's now actually trying to help me, trying to figure out what's wrong. So she like goes and gets me water, and she gets herself some chips. And I have a chip, thinking like maybe I just need to eat something and it'll make me feel better, because I was also having the drooly mouth you get when you're gonna be sick.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So I was actually back of brain, I was eating the chip to see if it would just make it stop that, so that I could go throw up and be done with it.
Yeah.
And then I felt a little bit like it didn't help, and I just started eating more chips, and I'm like, and I started feeling better. And then it was the salt. It was the salt in the end, we think, because as soon as I ate half of a bag of chips, I felt way better.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'll do it.
So I had very low sodium. I even went into the fridge when I could stand without world spinning and just ate like a row of salami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an entire row of salami.
I didn't know having low sodium could do that.
As I said, my brain was still functioning. Like, it would cause the headaches.
Yeah.
It would cause the watery mouth even.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I because salt helps with like the stuff I have going on. I'm almost like never low sodium. Just because like, yeah, I'm just always eating salty things. But yeah, that would make sense. Terrifying though.
I wonder if Vic was maybe going through the same thing, because recently she's been complaining that her head's been hurting, and then like yesterday we went out. I went to Michael's first because I wanted to get some new knitting needles, and then we were gonna go grocery shopping afterwards, but she's like, no, can you take me home? Like, I'm dizzy and I just need to lay down, and this, that, the other thing. I was like, all right, fine. Take her home,
Yeah.
go grocery shopping, all that, come back, and like she's in bed, like laying down, just trying to calm down and all of that, and like I have a Fitbit, which has like a little relax app thing where like you follow the vibrations, like you breathe in and then you breathe out and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And then, so she was doing that for a little bit. And then at one point she thought she was like hyperventilating to the point where she was freaking herself out. She was just like, honey, come here, please. I need you to check my pulse. I'm just like, all right, fine. So I get up, check her pulse, and she's like, you're fine. But apparently, like, in her head, she was saying, she's like, oh, God, I'm not breathing right. And then, of course, it just leads to the hyperventilating. She's just like, is my pulse going really quickly and all that? Yeah.
I can't follow those breathing apps because then it makes me more aware of my breathing.
Yeah.
And then it makes me actually
yeah.
hyperventilate because I'm aware of my breathing.
Yeah. What we figure at least the headaches came from, because she had just started a new job. She's in week 3 now, and like going from just looking at her phone occasionally or watching TV to all of a sudden 7 hours a day looking at computer screens, like that's gonna hurt your brain. So
that could definitely do it.
So I knew that's where that came from. So
yeah, I mean, I had a really nasty migraine on Saturday. Like, I don't normally get them that bad, where like they last 2 days, but it was unpleasant. Like, my brain was exploding. Like, it was a weird feeling as well because it was bad enough where sometimes when like I was laying down in bed and my legs were crossed, and like they felt like, even though I was aware that I could move them mentally, my body felt solid and like I could, like, my legs were glued together even though I knew I could move them. It was a very strange feeling. Like, I was not well, and so I wasn't surprised when it was still there the next day, but I was not pleased. Like,
so it's funny. Sorry, Kira, I'll let you go.
Try and get Vic to eat like an entire bag of plain chips, and they might.
Well, she's been having Powerade recently, which has been helping. So
yeah,
electrolytes.
Got electrolytes. That's what plants crave.
Dehydrate, because that's what I drink a lot of, like Gatorade.
Yep.
Especially just to do like a lot of looking down and stuff like that. That'll also cause tension headaches at the back.
Yep, exactly.
So.
Yeah, which would make sense if she's looking at computer screens. If she's looking even slightly down. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that'll
so
probably be.
Yeah.
And then there's me, where it's like, I won't get migraines for like 10 years, and then one random day,
and then all of a sudden,
it strikes.
It's just like, hey buddy, you're gonna have a crap day.
Meanwhile, me with a migraine at least once a week.
Yeah, I don't know how you
3 days
literally. I don't understand how you function, because literally.
I don't.
Well, because thing is, like,
What's
to
function?
me, I got that migraine a couple weeks ago, and I think I was in bed. I woke up, not having a good time, barbecue sauce on my titties.
Barbecue sauce.
Titties. Sorry, that was the only course of action.
I second that notion.
Mine with barbecue sauce.
Tegel biddies. Sorry. Anyway, completely.
Yeah.
God damn it! I distracted myself with tits. I wake up. God damn it!
Don't say it
again. And it's like it's at that point where it's like it's like they've taken like the lobotomy needle and they're just like stabbing you in the head with it.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is not good. This is not the optimal situation.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe. And so I'm like kind of rolling around and just, I'm doing that. I'm doing a lot of and then you wake up and you're just like,
sounds like a migraine.
Yep. And then I think I stand up, I walk outside, immediately regret this, I collapse on the couch and I fall asleep on the couch. I wake up like 2 hours later, feeling maybe slightly rested, but not much. And then I stand back up after like half an hour of just lying on the couch, not really being able to move, and then I walk back to bed.
Yeah, migraines
And then
Yeah.
I ate something.
completely
Yeah.
unpleasant.
Why do migraines exist?
A variety of reasons, but usually it's a
They-
result of I think it's like too much tension or too much blood pressure in your brain. Usually,
That's not good.
and it's like it can be literally triggered by a variety of things, like anywhere from a CSF leak to like just for fun
For the lulz.
to hi, you got
For the
you got
lulz.
you're, and or it could also be triggered by the fact that hey, you have so many knots in your body that you're weaving a fucking basket and you do a lot of ups and downs. I just really like
Yeah.
describing my back like that.
You have so many knots you're weaving a basket.
And I got my body from a bargain bin for 25 cents.
Nice.
Doesn't work right, but it was a good deal.
Can I find that bargain bin? Maybe they got a better leg.
I don't know. I mean, I would like. I can't really trade this in, unfortunately. So once you make a purchase, you're kind of stuck with it, and you really get what you pay for.
Well, you know, it's a little locally owned business, so the chances of being able to do a return at all is very unlikely.
They don't even have dental.
They're not essential.
God damn it. It's so long since I've seen that, but I have it in my brain permanently.
I just love like the quiet afterwards. It's like they don't even have dental.
You know, those jokes that honestly they just hit in a completely different way once you're an adult.
I
Yeah.
And
know.
you start actually like
Fucking-
and like you start paying attention to like job benefits.
Oh,
and it's like,
oh,
oh
yeah.
this is great.
What are those?
Like there are so many things.
Benefits to working?
Like there are so many things that you go back to, and it's like, especially in a lot of like kid shows, it's not even like the dirty jokes that they hide in there. It's more just like kind of the regular everyday adult jokes that they have sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always remember there was one. I always remember. It was Boomy. Do not.
It was Boomy?
It was not Boomy. We were
Trying to
watching.
break into the cupboards because the TV is on.
I basically forced my parents at gunpoint to rent the Yu-Gi-Oh movie because my
I'm
parents.
so sorry.
My parents hated Yu-Gi-Oh. They don't like anime really at all, but they hated Yu-Gi-Oh because me and my brother watched Yu-Gi-Oh and enjoyed it because we were children. And there's a bit in the Yu-Gi-Oh movie where what's his fucking name, Pegasus,
Oh my god. I
the
forgot
fucking
Oh god,
about
yep.
this.
the super gay one.
As opposed to the
That-
others?
I think you're thinking of Kaiba. I don't think Pegasus was in the movie.
No, Pegasus was definitely in the movie because he had the fucking like the guy with the like the shoulder length
White hair?
White hair. Yeah, Pegasus
Oh,
was
that's Pegasus.
definitely Pegasus was definitely in the movie because there is a scene where he's like alone in his office, and I don't even remember what it is, but like he gets like he's at like something is like about to like attack him, so he gets like there's like a wave of something that just kind of, and he gets like a headache for a second and just goes, ooh, well that's enough cheap Chardonnay for me today. Or something along that line. He says something in regards to you know, maybe drinking too much, and my dad just burst out laughing, and I was like, I don't understand.
I do not understand.
I don't understand. I'm sure I will understand when I'm older.
Pretty much.
And then you did.
And then I did.
I'm finally
Yeah,
ordering
I
dinner.
didn't. I am
That's fair.
eating wafer cracker pop. What are these called?
It's okay. I'm learning how to spell Yu-Gi-Oh.
Y-U-G-I-O-H.
I know, but
And
it's like
there's-
Y-U-G-I-O.
G-I-OH.
Yeah, don't forget the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
GX. Yeah.
Oh man. I always remember I was really into the original Yu-Gi-Oh show, and then they were like,
And
oh,
then
hey,
they released other versions.
here's like a spin-off. And I'm like, oh,
It's like,
cool, so
cool.
Yu-Gi-Oh's in this, right?
No.
No.
It's
Yeah.
about some random other fucking people. I'm like, well, no.
What's the
Yeah.
point then?
Why?
We don't want that.
You know, it's one of those shows where it's like, I have not gone back to or seen any of it.
Do not. Don't do
No.
it. Don't do it. It's so bad.
Oh, that's the thing. From what, like, the little vague nuggets in my memory, I'm like, oh, that was terrible. I fully understand why my parents absolutely hated that show, because it was so bad. But, like...
I went back and tried to watch it, and the animation is so bad.
And I remember his friend Joe, and he was like, oh, jeez, Yu-Gi-Oh! Why is...
I have to remember.
I don't even think that's what Joey sounded
no,
like.
he had a weird fucking Brooklyn accent.
He had a weird Brooklyn
He had
accent.
a Brooklyn accent.
And then there'd be Pegasus who would always just go, Yu-Gi boy.
Yeah, honestly. Although I have to send you guys like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I wonder if that still exists on YouTube.
Oh, probably.
And also the leather pants thing. I think I've shown you the leather pants.
I think you have.
But it is like a parody of like Yu-Gi-Oh! With like what is it? Bad Romance. It's like a Bad Romance parody.
Oh, yes, you have shown me this.
So, yeah, I know it's a pretty. It's just so fucking weird. It's just so fucking weird. What are the? I used to really love Beyblade.
Beyblade was good, and then they did the same
Beyblade.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also there was another. What was that game about the little There was like this old toy that would like it was like a little ball. And you would roll
Bakugan.
it and like
Bakugan.
Thank you.
Bakugan.
Yes.
One of the exes I was dating at the time, she had a younger brother who was obsessed with Bakugan.
Yeah, Bakugan was, I think, just out of our age range, Devin.
It
got
was.
popular with like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
year
it
below
was-
us.
It definitely
it was definitely
was.
something that was more my brother was more interested in than I.
Yeah.
I always remember, like... I never watched much of Digimon.
Digital.
Digital.
The thing is,
Monster?
the
I
worst
love
thing
them.
is, I think there's only a certain amount of Digimon that I've seen, and a lot of it was from the... I learned later was from the movie, because I remember I always thought it was just like the Cartoon Network or whatever channel had them on, just for some reason just decided to put an episode of Anaconda in
God,
front of it,
yeah,
and then I
fuck
realized,
that show.
no,
Angela
that was-
Anaconda.
yeah,
Oh.
that was
I
an
loved
actual
Angela
was so
Anaconda.
good.
thing
Fuck that show.
that they
no.
put in
Love
front
that
of Digimon. But I also remember at least the Digimon movie. I just remember being a kid, and I would think it was by myself when I saw it, or at least I saw the end, because there were like some dudes fighting in an inside a large dome where a bunch of things was happening. I always just remember it's just like in this Digimon, it's basically the same thing as Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon had a child or something. I can't remember.
No.
No, it is very much its own thing.
I mean,
Also,
to be
that
fair.
was not. I know what episode Devin's referring to, and that is not from the movie.
Oh, okay. But all that I remember is it's this perfectly normal children's show fight with a lot of everyone going, yeah, yeah, and a lot of things. And then at the end, the good guy just takes out a giant sword and stabs the bad guy straight through the face.
Oh,
And I'm just
shit,
like,
that was
oh,
that was the movie. That's
Right,
the
okay.
middle of the movie. That's
yeah.
the middle of the
What
movie.
the fuck
That's
was
not the
that?
end.
Just
That's Omnimon and Debabormon.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Also, I have only seen the movie. Just so we're
You poor
clear.
soul.
You know what the great thing is
But I
about
really
the
love that movie, and I can only think of what that's what I associate 1 week with for eternity.
The funny thing
Yes.
is I later found out that the movie I know, well, you showed it to us, Kira, that movie Wolf Children.
Yeah.
The guy who made Wolf Children worked on the Digimon movie.
Oh God.
And it's really funny because if you look back, you can see some of the same kind of like character like styles and animation in it.
It is very Digimon-esque for the animation style. But I'm sorry for you, Chris, that you've only watched the movie, because as much as I love the movie, that's my sick movie. I go to watch it, and I could probably quote the entire movie back to us. I've watched it. I broke my original disc of it, and I had to go buy a new one.
We
I
had it
watched
on
it too many
VHS,
times.
I think.
I did as well. That also broke.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that I played over and over and over and over and
It
over
was
again
like
because
a gift from like I think we had a family member gave my brother the Digimon movie and I got the Lizzie McGuire movie, and I watched both of those religiously.
I hated the Lizzie McGuire movie. But I was never much into Disney Channel originals, the live action
I
shit.
just really liked Hilary Duff.
Hilary
that's fair.
Duff's pretty dope.
Yeah, she's
That's just pretty cool.
you know, she hasn't gotten in any controversy in the last while, so.
Don't say that because now she's
You're
going
gonna
to.
jinx it.
No,
You're gonna
because
jinx it.
She's the
No,
only one that managed to avoid it.
Yeah,
It's
she's
true.
been under the radar for a while. I know she was focused
Yeah,
on
she
her
had-
kids for a while.
Yeah, she was focused on her kids for quite a long while. Yeah, another show that I put in our chat is, I don't think anyone else watched this, was Metabots.
Oh, I don't think so.
I've heard the name, but I've
Metabots.
definitely not seen it.
It's the picture I threw in there, McBride, or GIF.
I saw that, yeah.
That's basically kids got fighting robots to have little battles in parks and all that, and there was a referee man who, I'm going to say he stalked the children because he would pop out of trash cans, alleyways, random windows to referee these battles.
Huh.
This referee man
Oh,
was magic.
dear.
He was always there to referee. But where did he come from? The
Where did
trash.
he go?
Where'd it come from?
Cotton Eye Joe. Hell yeah.
Let's see if I can.
I love how we go the same thing. Like you just you know, once you say where did he come from, you gotta.
I know, you have to. You have to. Oh dear. So
Yeah.
I have a wee bit of a nice little thing that happened over the weekend. I know
Oh,
Devon and Kris were away for a little bit, so hopefully this can segue into that.
Oh, yeah.
So it was my grandmother's 90th birthday over the weekend. And so
Aw.
because we hadn't done this in, we figure, almost 10 years,
shit.
we had a big ol' heckin' family reunion / big birthday party for her. So we all got up to Gibson's, and it was nice to see all the cousins, all the rellies, and all of that. One thing I always thought was very funny whenever we go up there, and my brother was up there as well. So I remember the last few times I had saw them, I always get asked, I was just like, "Oh, how's the band doing? Are you playing any gigs? Are you releasing music and stuff like that?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, we got some stuff planned, and we're still playing shows. We got one coming up soon, and it's not the other thing." But they're so fascinated by it and like enamored. It's like both my brother and I unintentionally turned into like the rock stars of the family, even though we haven't really done anything. I'm just like, I'm definitely not
that's
gonna
adorable,
complain, but
though.
this is cool. But like the thing that made it so funny was when we were up there. So my other bunch of my other cousins are musicians as well, but like not to the level that my brother and I have taken it. So one of my other cousins like has a little shed set up with like, it basically turned it into a band room. So there's a little drum kit in there. There's a couple guitars and all of that. And so both my brother and I wander in there. He steps behind the kit. He's been drumming since he was, I want to say 12. He's 39 now, so I don't know what that math is, but he's been doing it a while.
A lot of years.
A lot of years. And then, of course, me, I've been playing guitar for almost 20 years. I've been playing bass for at least 20 at this point. So he goes behind the kit. I pick up the guitar after I get everything tuned, and brother's giving me a hard time. It's like, "Oh my God, this is why I hate guitarists, because they spend half the time tuning everything." I'm just like, you know what? Why don't you shut the heck up and let me do the thing? So,
At least you do more than just hitting a thing over and over.
oh, I should have come back with that. Damn it. It's always after the fact. Always after the fact. But yeah, so like eventually my brother is just like, "All right, just start playing something. I'll create a beat to it." So I just start playing along, and so it unintentionally turned into a little jam session between my brother and I. But as soon as we started playing, all of a sudden we noticed there was a few windows around this little shed. So it's like we just see a bunch of phones like recording everything, and a bunch of people all huddled around the shed and everything. It was great. It was a little impromptu show at a 90-year-old birthday party.
Why is your guys' why is some of your guys' family so wholesome?
I don't know. It's just I thought it was really sweet, so I want to just because a bunch of them asked about the podcast as well, so I want to make sure I give them a shout. So, McBride fam,
no.
you know who you are. Leave a comment if you listen this far.
And I'm sorry now.
Yeah. Welcome to our chaos.
Yeah. Yes. Welcome. It only gets worse from here. We promise.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
That just like reminds me of. Did any of you ever watch Third Rock from the Sun?
Yes, I loved that show.
So do you remember the episode? Because that show's got John Lithgow in.
Yes.
Like, he's okay. I don't care what anyone else says. Like that is John Lithgow's best performance ever.
So good.
He's like Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's the serial killer.
It's got young Joseph Gordon-Levitt too.
It's got like a baby Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show.
It's so
actually
good.
Like, it's one of those sitcoms you look back on from the 90s, and it's like, shit, this actually still, for the most part, holds up.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm
gonna have to
but
find
there's
that now.
an episode where Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who at this point in the show is like a teenager, and like for context, it's about a bunch of aliens that land on Earth and are basically impersonating humans. Like they're impersonating a family unit, but of course they're all like messed up. So like the captain of the ship is the father, who's no, I keep wanting to say Jeff Goldblum, but it's not. It's the guy we were just talking about, John Lithgow. The gunnery sergeant is
Kristen
a woman
Johnston.
now. Is Kristen Johnston?
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh man, it's so basically like all of the roles are like completely adverse to like how they should actually act.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking funny. But of course, there's an episode where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, who out of all of the aliens is the oldest, but he gets put in the youngest body.
Yes. Yeah.
So you got Joseph Gordon-Levitt starts up like a band with a bunch of members from his school, and of course John Lithgow, who I will remind everyone was in the original Footloose as the principal who didn't want anyone ever doing the rock and roll stuff.
Oh.
And of course you think, oh, they're never gonna reference that, so he comes in and he literally starts doing the exact monologue he did in Footloose. And it's great because you could hear the audience, because it's a sitcom, so you can hear the audience in the background slowly start to realize what he's doing. And it's just so good. But yeah, to me, like, watching, but so you're telling us the story, but the thing, all I could think about was John Lithgow, because it's loud.
I know. Oh my god.
And rhythmic, and rhythm leads to dancing.
Dancing is not allowed here.
Rock and roll, preaching to a choir of easy sexuality and relaxed morality, and I, for one, will not endure such an enterprise that is as fraught with peril as I believe this one to be.
You've seen that way too goddamn
I
much.
have seen that because it's great.
See, I'm just thinking now of the whole bit before we're not gonna take it, like from the music video.
Twisted
Oh,
Sister.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. God, looking like it's so funny thinking about how up in arms all like Gen X gets and like the previous generations about guys being all feminine when they were dressed like fucking that.
Yeah.
Don't ask, man.
I have evidence
Don't.
that every book you have read. No, I completely fucked it up. Never mind. Proceed.
really did.
Proceed.
My
Fucked that
God.
up. I fucked it up. I fucked it up.
I don't even
Abort.
know.
Abort.
Oh god.
I'm a little lost, but okay.
It's okay.
fine.
I tried to quote something and it backfired immensely.
Distraction
It
Motron
really is,
activated. You guys came back from a con recently.
We did.
Yeah. So that
Thank
was pretty
you.
Cool.
We
It's
got
10 minutes, go.
Yeah.
It's a long-ass
Finish us off here.
drive.
Yes, so we drove all the way up to Calgary, which
Calgary's down from here.
yes, it is.
Yes, but
Is
it's
it?
up in the ways. Well, I mean, you go
It's
up
like
over
It's
the
kinda
mountain.
parallel.
beside us. Yeah, it's like
It's
beside
beside
us.
us.
So we like drove up all the way to Calgary, which
There
was
was a lot of American plates on the road.
There was. I was.
Oh, that's
concerned.
concerning.
I also saw every plate from BC all the way up to Quebec. But that's
You got very into recognizing different
It
license
was
plates.
a fun game. We were on the road for 10 hours.
It is fun to
We
do.
were.
Yeah, I do that as well. I used to collect pictures of plates from different
We
areas. I think I
spent a
had.
long time on the road.
We did, and let's put.
10 hours?
I'm just like, oh, we were just there. What happened at the
It
con?
took you 10 hours to get there?
Well, like total.
We split the travel between 2 days, so it was about a 4.5 hour drive up to Salmon Arm, and then it was about a 5.5 hour drive from Salmon Arm to Calgary.
Oh, yeah, son of a bitch.
But,
It's,
you got,
it's only
uh,
like just over 10 hours to go straight there. Interesting.
but we did a lot of purchasing stuff. We got to pet some snakes.
You got to pet some snakes.
Well, I got to hold the snake.
Snake.
We got to pet some kitties.
There was also you got some autographs from the
I
Red
did.
Dead dudes.
I met the two main voice actors from
Roger Clark.
Roger
and
Clark and
something Wethoff. Rob Wethoff.
Rob Whitehoff. Thank you. I was like, God, this would be super embarrassing if I forget their names now. Considering
Didn't they recognize
I
your
met
pumpkin?
them.
And didn't they recognize your pumpkin, or one of them
Yeah,
asked you to
because they
tag
did.
you?
I did pumpkins. I weirdly enough have carved pumpkins of both of their characters from Red Dead at various points. During my pumpkins. And at least one of them had apparently. He said he actually saw my pumpkin somewhere online.
I think it was Rob, because you had the one for Arthur.
Yeah, I had the one for Arthur. I had one of John Marston that I didn't have on my phone.
He sounds exactly like he does in the game, and also he's
It's
a really
so
cool
weird.
dude.
He is really cool. They're both really awesome. But yeah, so I got their autographs and stuff.
And I kind of accidentally went a little bit viral. on
Yeah,
this.
explain.
So, basically, we took a lunch at the Emerald Lake, at the Cilantro Cafe on Emerald Lake.
Yes.
It's a really, really pretty place. And on the way back, as we were walking back to the car, I just took a picture. And what I wound up doing is that I accidentally got I knew there was a kayak canoe in the picture, but I did not realize that the people in the picture were actually in like their wedding gear, like they had just gotten married kind of thing. So I'm like looking at this, and we're walking back. I'm like, oh, that's a really good shot. And like I said, I didn't notice that they were in a suit and a wedding dress until after I'd already taken the picture. So I wound up looking like basically trying to figure out how to get this picture to the couple so that they would have a way of so that they would have it. And so it went a little bit viral on Reddit because I was trying to figure out how, like, hey, how do I help people? And yeah, eventually I wound up contacting actually the lodge that they would have been staying at, and it got passed off to their photographer, who then I'm assuming passed it off to them. So, but that was pretty cool. It's a really pretty shot too. But what? I can't. Oh, we were at the Calgary Fan Expo.
Yes.
Fan Expo, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just a fan expo.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if it was like Calgary Con or Calgary Expo.
That sounds wrong.
Although I think it's what. Oh, and then I also got a really cool picture of a Yasha from Critical Role, like a really, really, really cool cosplay of her. And it actually got liked by Matt Mercer too, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
So
Actually, hang on.
I was pretty proud of that.
I got a
I will
picture.
send you pictures of the picture that I took though. I took like over 100 pictures of the drive.
I got a picture. I
Oh my
found.
god, yeah, you did.
There was like
Why does that look familiar?
It's one of the
Dear
from the Dark
God,
Crystal.
no.
I got a
Yeah, it
picture
is.
of the
It's
one of
an
the Skeksis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I was about to send a picture of me holding the snake, and then I remembered that McBride is afraid of snakes, so I won't do that.
It's fine. You can post
Instead,
it.
Okay.
we also got pictures with Katie's.
Aw, kitten fluff.
I'm just sending like all of the conventions. And I got like a
I saw Discord stop picking that up, but I'm really sorry, McBride. That's a
It's
bar.
okay. It'll noise gate.
I am
Oh.
I am also excited for Thursday because it means that I get to use my pretty shiny new metal dice.
Yes.
I'm gonna hurt you by telling you I'm closing Thursday.
Fuck!
Sorry.
Kira, stop closing Thursday!
I used to only
Are
open
you closing
Thursdays.
this Thursday as well?
Yes, that's what she just
Yes.
said.
Kira, I'm going to kill you.
I'm sorry.
God damn
I
it.
just- I need to talk to her and tell her that I can close Mondays now because
Yes.
it was so long I didn't close Thursdays.
Yeah, no, I just had to change my availability.
Ah.
But, yeah. Kira, change your availability. Also, I forgot that we have D&D on Wednesday, too, so.
That last
Use my
picture
metal
would have been
dice.
so better if they would have committed to like getting little elf ears, or not elf ears, but like
Putting
Yoda
it in
ears,
the,
and
Yes.
like I would say paint the baby green, but maybe not.
Maybe
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. But still,
But yes, the expo was fun.
It was
nice.
a lot of fun. I was so sore.
Oh yeah.
Because, like,
We were walking for like
Yeah,
like we stayed like the con was open from like 10 until 7 the first day that we were there. We stayed from like 10:30 until like 5:30. And my body is not used to doing all of that walking, and like not like the long walking where you can take a full step, but the shuffle walk of trying to not get between people.
yes,
So
yes.
my hips were not pleased at all.
Yeah,
And then the second day as well, we were there like, and it was like from like 10:30 or like 10:45 until like, I think we gave up at like 4:30, and the con closed at like 5 or something like that. Because again, we were both sore, tired. We'd spent way too much money, and there wasn't much else to do at that point, anyways.
yeah.
How much money did you end up spending?
Oh, I'm not counting.
I think it's
Oh.
I think it's better if they don't know.
All I know is I had pulled out at least $160. I spent more than that, and I had also got my mom to send me like $50 for something. So, well over $200 for myself, and then Devin is a whole other story.
Yeah, that's we will talk.
Evan.
There is
Evan?
no swords, and some of it's my fault because I got him to buy me things.
This is true. And
I'm
granted,
so scared of how many things. I know Kris got me at least one thing. I'm scared.
There's only
I
two
know what
things,
it
and they're pretty
is.
small. Yeah,
You're
you
gonna
gotta get that to Kira.
you're gonna
yes, we do.
I know there's a pin.
You're gonna like it.
I know there's a pin.
Yeah, there's a pin. There's a pin that says chaotic horny.
Yeah, when you sent that to me, I was talking to people and I choked. And then I had to explain. I just got sent a message saying they bought me a pin at Expo and it says chaotic horn.
Funny thing is, I wish in retrospect I had purchased two, but also at the same time it would be difficult to explain that it's a pin specifically targeted at Sif.
Yeah, that would. I mean, I feel like Victoria would eventually understand.
No,
It
she
would require a lot
gets
of
it. She
explaining.
knows what my character is. She
It
understands.
would be really funny if it's like, hey, we just got back from a con. Here's a pin. What is
We
this?
thought of you.
I
I
know.
mean, to be fair, if she is concerned about Sif in regards to who Sif is seeing within the party, Sif has
Seen a lot of people.
Sif has slept with a lot of my characters too.
I also got a pin that's like be
Sif-
gauge, you crime. I got roadwork ahead. Sure hope it does.
She's a woman of the people.
Oh, sure she is.
That's my French fries, fucker. These are for me.
Perfect segue.
I think that's a perfect time to end.
Actually,
That
yeah.
is
I'm
great.
hungry.
Let's let Kira eat.
Yes.
I'm just eating French fries slowly. And the cat jumped onto the arm of the chair and is trying to take them away.
Boomy was being a real asshole about stealing fries and chicken nuggies today.
I did buy chicken nuggies, to be fair.
Ah, yes.
But they make more noise than the French fries.
Good call on the fries.
Yes, let's end it there.
Yeah, take us out.
So, I hope you all enjoyed JKT episode
89.
89.
I really wanted to say 69.
So did
That
I.
would have been great, but that was
That
a
time has
long
passed.
time ago.
Eventually we'll
I'll
get
get to-
169.
Yeah, see, there we go.
I'll hit it every 100 episodes. We hope you all enjoy. Don't forget to lick those tasty buttons if you're watching on YouTube. Since we talked about children's games, the like button will be grit,
Yeah.
and the
pavement that you eat when you hit the fucking ground.
yeah, the grit you eat when you hit the ground, not the weird southern dish that tastes nasty. I've had
Grits.
I've eaten
and
grits and it's gross.
And that red dodgeball flavor when it hits you in the face.
That's
when
just
when
rubber.
it slams into you in the
That's-
face.
That's rubber and blood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
Like
will be
specific,
our
really tangy rubber.
it is. It is.
that'll be our subscribe button.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on one of our other platforms, which are in the description,
They
I think,
are.
because I can never
They
remember.
are always there. Yes.
They're always watching.
We're always
Always watching.
I'm watching
Mike
you,
Wazowski.
Wazowski.
always watching.
This is my hell.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
That hurts me to do that voice.